All right. It is Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. Fantasy NBA today. We got our producer Andre Lemouche with us as well. We got our Magic Men to tell you about. We got a 4-game slate to tell you about. We got the DeAaron Fox sweepstakes to tell you about. Before we get into all of that, I want to tell you about BetOnline. They are the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, it's all good. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. They have the largest selection of odds in everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. Every touchdown, three-pointer, and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet online. The game starts here. Doc, the DeAaron Fox sweepstakes began today. Okay, Shams Charania has said the Kings are expected to open up talks to potentially deal All-Star DeAaron Fox ahead of the February 6th deadline. There will be plenty of suitors, but it is believed that Fox has a target destination in mind ahead of 2026 free agency. That destination is San Antonio, according to a source. That they are his preferred destination. I know, Fox and Wemby, it's sexy as hell. The Athletic Sam Amick reported Tuesday that Fox's agent, Rich Paul, has advised the Kings it would be wise for them to move him now, okay? Get him up and out of here. Doc, I just want to kind of get us going with this, and you take it any direction you want to go. DeAaron Fox wants out of Sacramento. The Kings re-signed his homie, Malik Monk. Not enough. The Kings traded for DeMar DeRozan. Not enough. They offered him a max contract, probably multiple times. Didn't want to sign it. The Kings are suddenly winning again, Doc. They're 11-3 in their last 14 games. Shout out to Doug Christie. Fox is having the best overall season of his career. Absolute, unadulterated all-star numbers this year. Yet he wants out. He just doesn't want to play in that city, the capital of California, Sacramento, bro. How does all this news hit you?
It's too bad Brewski's not on this one because he knows all things Sacramento. He'll be like, oh yeah, this has been in the newspapers and we all knew this. I don't know. It tells me that DeAaron Fox feels like he gave them the chance. And when they were lighting the beam all the time and balling out last year, it looked like everything was going the right direction. And now DeMar DeRozan shows up and now it's sort of weird. He's like, no, I want to go play with Wemby. And I think the number one thought I have about this, and you actually just recently put this in my ear, is maybe that's why the Spurs are playing Stefon Castle so many minutes. And maybe this is setting up for a Stefon Castle, DeAaron Fox deal. I don't know. But it's very interesting. It's wild how Tyrese Halliburton became the man in Sacramento, and then they traded him to Indy for Sabonis. And then DeAaron Fox became the man and is running the show and doing a good job for the Kings. Like you say, he's having a great year. He had a great year last year. And now he just wants out. Who's going to be their point guard? Stefon Castle or Keon Ellis, I guess.
Oh, I think Malik Monk will be on the one. If they trade for Stefon Castle, Castle will be, your guard, your two. Malik Monk, and I saw this last year, and you saw this last year, Doc, running a lot of 1-5 pick and roll with Domantas Sabonis, with Monk in the 1-5 spot, DeAaron Fox on the court and out of the action, okay? And that was with Mike Brown, and obviously, but Malik Monk has been in the starting five. The numbers are fantastic. And to me, he is going to take off. Rocket ship attached to his back if/when DeAaron Fox is traded. So we will have to agree to disagree on that one. I'm not saying that Keon Ellis potentially will realize more fantasy value in that kind of thing. And if Castle's in Sacramento, will he do more statistically than he does in San Antonio? I think that's very debatable with all the mouths that they have to feed out in Sac. But to me, Malik Monk, Doc, and Keegan Murray, depending on what they bring back, right? We just don't know that right now. But in theory, you've got too many mouths to feed right now. It's Sabonis, it's Fox, it's DeRozan, it's Monk, and it's Murray. So Murray is at like 11.7 points per game. Keegan Murray is a 20-point per game guy in this league. I don't know if you agree with that or not, Doc, but if you give him the shots, the usage rate, he's going to be a big-time player. So to me, this would be DeAaron Fox in his 26 points per game being traded away, to me would be great news for Keegan Murray.
It would be, because, I mean, I've been saying Keegan Murray needs a new team, but maybe Keegan Murray needs a new point guard. I don't know. But, I mean, we could see this coming. I mean, DeRozan's not going to be there forever. If they lose Fox and DeRozan and don't get a boatload back, I don't know, man. I don't like this for Sacramento.
I don't either. Doc, this is one of the great young point guards, a guy that, I know this is going to sound crazy, but like the stats, like if you do this for another 12 or 13 years, you're a Hall of Famer. Like DeAaron Fox, this is a 25 point per game guy, like 5 years running here. He's one of the best players in the league, and he obviously wants out of Sacramento. No, it's not good for Sac. Are they going to get dollar for dollar back for DeAaron Fox? Probably not. So where could Fox end up? It is Cam and his Doc. It's the Fantasy NBA today. San Antonio, okay? Fox is set to be a free agent in 2026. And so with Victor Wembanyama on his rookie scale contract, they are going to have max cap space until 2026 when they could then max out DeAaron Fox. Miami is also a team here, Doc. DeAaron Fox and Bam Adebayo were teammates at Kentucky. Tyler Hero possibly could be going to Sacramento in this move. Khalil Ware, maybe, probably not. I think Riley and Eric Spoelstra are like, you can't have him. He's untouchable. Doc, Houston is a team to watch here in the DeAaron Fox sweepstakes. DeAaron Fox grew up in Katy, Texas. Katy, Texas is a suburb of Houston, okay? According to Mark Stein, Houston plans to let this current group play out the season and see what happens. But we know, Doc, that plans change, okay? You've got Jalen Green you could move for him. I would move Jalen Green for DeAaron Fox like that. Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason, the young fella Shepard, Jay Sean Tate, you've got draft capital. Houston has a great pool of assets to consolidate and go get a heavy hitter like DeAaron Fox. So, Doc, it might not be San Antonio. It could also be Miami. It could also be Houston. Orlando is on the fringe of this thing as well.
All three of those make a lot of sense. Like, how refreshing would it be for the Heat to bring in DeAaron Fox and get Jimmy out of there? That would be huge. And they need a point guard. Tyler Hero does a good job, but Terry Rozier is washed, in my opinion, and Tyler Hero is better off playing the two and shooting the ball. So, I mean, he makes perfect sense there. He makes perfect sense to want to go play with Wembanyama. Chris Paul ain't playing for very much longer. And Stefon Castle, great trade bait. I feel like the Spurs have a lot of pieces that they could put together for DeAaron Fox. So that one makes sense. And then the home ties to Houston and the perfect opportunity to get Jalen Green out and bring DeAaron Fox in. All three of them make a lot of sense.
The Houston thing is tough, dude, because they're rolling. Like, that's taking a wrecking ball to your club. And I know it's DeAaron Fox, and it's probably an upgrade, but, dude, you know what I'm saying, Doc? A lot of times, more is not more. A lot of times, more doesn't work out. But just saying.
If like, you take Green out and you put Fox in, it works. It makes sense. It's not like just bringing in DeMar DeRozan and dropping him into the middle of the Houston Rockets right now and seeing what happens, you know? Because that would be a problem.
Our producer, Andre Lamouche, is a big Spurs fan, brings up an interesting point here. The Spurs can get Fox for free in the summer of 2026. So he says he doesn't think they're going to give up Castle in a deal where if they just wait another year or so, then they'll have De'Aaron Fox and Stefon Castle, and they won't have to give up Castle in that trade. So it depends on how sort of aggressive and maybe a little bit impatient they want to be, Doc, to like trade him to go get him now, or just wait it out. Because Doc, San Antonio's in a very good spot. If De'Aaron Fox literally is like, yo, I want to go play there with Wemby, okay, then like that's huge. What the player wants is everything in the NBA. So if I knew that, and they're not winning a championship this year or next year with De'Aaron Fox, right? I mean, they'd be good, but they wouldn't win a championship. So that's an interesting thought right there.
I don't know. I didn't think Houston would have a chance to win a championship this year, but I'm starting to think that if things went right for them, anything is possible with that team. So I would not be surprised if the Spurs are very good next year. But the risk there is, what if Darren Fox goes somewhere else for a year and falls in love with it and doesn't want to leave?
And goes to the conference finals, and that's a very good point, Doc. That's the other side of that. That's the gamble that the Spurs would do. What they have shown us in the Wembanyama era and in the year leading into the Wembanyama era is that they are not going fast. They are not taking shortcuts. They're not pushing a turbo button on being good. They're taking a really slow, methodical approach to this, which would speak to them not getting De'Aaron Fox right now for a Stefon Castle, but rather waiting it out and taking the slow road and playing the long game. We'll see. But it is Cam, it is Doc, it is the Fantasy NBA today. And let's get into the breakdown here, Doc, of the Tuesday night's 4-game slate. What you got? What's up?
Magic Man, right?
Well, I know. I'm getting to it.
Oh, my
Magic
bad.
Man. So you go first, dude. Not a lot to choose from here tonight. Who's your Magic Man tonight?
Well, Rick, you're a bit of a flibbertigibbet, I've noticed. That is someone who speaks a lot. And you know who else spoke a lot tonight? My boy, Denny Avdia, was out there and in people's faces and throwing it down. He had 30 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 threes, hit 10 of 18 shots. And unbelievably, in Damian Lillard's return to Portland, when Lillard has been on this flamethrower, he just got shut down in the second half. He had 6 points in the second half, finished with 20. I did not see that coming. I had a little parlay going where all I needed was the Bucks to win, Lillard to score 25, and Giannis to double-double. And I'm like, I'm just going to play very conservative, just a nice little, get the week started off on the right foot. Bucks lose. Dame doesn't score 25. Giannis killed him, dude. Giannis was great. 17 and 24, 39 points, whatever. But Denny Avdia, who got no respect and no love at the start of this season, except from one person that I know of. That was me. That was me. And he's been fun, man. I love Denny.
I'm trying to point at you. I finally got it right. You're right. You are on a tiny island. You are on Denny Avdia Isle. Dude, major breakout year in progress from him. All right, your Magic Man is Denny Avdia. I love it. Doc, my Magic Man is Tyrese Maxi. Tyrese Maxi went off for 43 points as the Sixers beat the Los Angeles Lakers. He had, I think, 4 threes and 2 steals or something. Just another stud line. Doc, you know what I love about Tyrese Maxi? Tyrese Maxi is the Energizer Bunny. The motor goes and goes and goes. That's why I'm not worried about him on the second of a back-to-back Wednesday night when DeAaron Fox and Malik Monk, his Kentucky homies, come to town. This guy brings it. He's a gamer. He's a baller. He's a warrior. I freaking love Tyrese Maxi, dude. In the grand scheme of point guards in the NBA, Doc, the guy's underrated, right? Who are the top 5 point guards? I promise you, you're going to name 5 guys, and Tyrese Maxey's not going to be that in there. And I'm not even saying he's a top 5 point guard, but he's kind of close. The numbers are phenomenal. And you know what, Doc? He has not like powered down. He has not gotten like drifty in his brain with Joel Embiid and Paul George missing the entire season. Like Tyrese Maxey could have been like, all right, F it. Like, this isn't our year. I'm going to kind of mail it in and go through the motions and Jimmy Butler it out here. No, Tyrese Maxey is going at every single game like it's game 7 of the NBA Finals. I love this guy, man. He just gave Bron and a truncated version of Anthony Davis 43 in the mouth, Doc.
Dude, Tyrese Maxey's like number 8 in fantasy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's better than Tyrese Maxey. Luka when he's healthy. Luka ain't healthy. Tyrese Maxey's it, man. He's the second best point guard in the league as far as you and I are concerned, because all we really care about is fantasy. And he's the man. And you know what? He does not take nights off. He does not stop. Oh, my guy's not playing with me. I'll just go take care of it myself.
And we might lose by 18, but I'm going to go out there and kick some ass tonight, dude.
But they didn't lose. They beat down the Lakers. Now, of course, Anthony Davis got hurt early, but beat the Lakers down. Did not care. And I thought the Lakers were going to win that game. But Tyrese Maxey is a one-man wrecking crew. He really is.
Surprised at all that he spiked up for 43 against LA in a nationally televised game? Are you surprised?
No, what did I say last night? He's going to go for 50?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was automatic. Automatic over 35.
And he hit for 43. Tyrese Maxey, my magic man. Denny Avdia, Doc's magic man. We'll go back into that game and the Davis injury here in just a second. But let's go to Atlanta, Doc. The Rockets and the Hawks in a very good game. Both of these teams were in the second of a back-to-back, I believe. Let me confirm that. I believe that was true.
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure I was right about that. Anyway, it's somewhat immaterial. But Houston gets the win here, Doc. They went at Boston on Monday, at Atlanta on Tuesday. Dude, that's impressive, man. Check this out. The Rockets are 17-7 on the road. They're 32-14 overall. My little team that could is a championship contender, okay? Let me look up best road records in the NBA. OKC is 17-5. How about Cleveland? Cleveland's 15-6. Rockets have a better road record than the Cavs, okay? They have a better road record than the Celtics. They have the same exact road record as the Boston Celtics. The Rockets are not supposed to be doing this, Doc. I get moving up in the standings. I get the Jeffersons moving on up to the east side. Like, I get all that, all right? But to be 17-7 on the road, that does not make any sense. That this team is way ahead of schedule with that going on here, Doc. And you know what I loved about this victory tonight? After Dillon Brooks and Amen Thompson had out-of-body experiences at Boston on Monday night, and you kind of knew this was going to happen, right? Şengün, 18-10. Jalen Green, 25. The main heavy hitters were the guys tonight in Atlanta. And I thought that was a pretty cool yin and yang with this team, Doc. What you got in Atlanta and Houston?
Well, the Dillon Brooks grabbing, I don't know what he did to Trae Young, but he sort of like grabbed his face or his head or his just Dillon Brooks crap, which was hilarious. And I don't have stats on this. I don't think it's a stat that even the great Andre Lamouche could find before the end of this show. But Dillon Brooks went off for 35 or 36 last night.
10
and Amen Thompson,
And he had 10 threes.
And Amen Thompson scored 33 last night. So that's what? 69 points. Tonight they combined for 22. I doubt we've ever seen two teammates go in back-to-back games and go from having almost 70 to having 20. Amen only shot it 5 times. Brooks only shot it 12. But Houston got a tough win, man. They were up pretty big in this game. The Hawks fought back in the fourth quarter. They won the fourth quarter by 5. Houston persevered, held them off. And I tell you what, man, if you are not a Rockets fan at this point, I don't know what to tell you, because whether you love the NBA or you have a favorite team, there is something special about this team, and I love the Rockets.
Me too, man. Me too. Clint Capela did not play in this game. He was ruled out with a back. And hopefully you faded Trae Young. We talked about this on Monday night, but with Amen Thompson and Dylan Brooks and all of these guys, he had 21 points on 7 of 16 shooting, 2 of 9 from 3. And we also talked on Monday that with Trae Young and Dyson Daniels most likely coming back, that Vit Krejci would come back, and he did. 13 and 5, 2 assists, a block, 2 steals, 2 threes. He was good. Mohamed Gay, Doc, had 11 points, 7 rebounds, and a block in a start. Keep your eye on him, okay, especially in deep leagues. You don't have to activate and go pick him up right now. It's not one of those deals. But he started tonight. Jalen Johnson is out indefinitely, and just keep it in mind, okay? Just keep it in mind. With Capela out as well, he saw more time. Doc, I believe Tari Eason not playing in this game is a rest scenario after playing Monday against Boston. We know that he's had these leg injuries, so if he misses the next game, I'm suddenly worried about Tari Eason. But as it sits right now, I'm not. I just feel like this was a rest scenario for him. Anything else on Houston and Atlanta, bro?
Dude, I don't know if you have any Clint Capela in your life.
I do. I have actually a lot of Clint Capela. I do.
I had him in my starting DFS lineup, and I always check it like at 6:58 to make sure all my names are green. Means they're all playing. His name was green, and I look up 15 minutes later, he's ruled out. And the blurb I read, I believe on the Sports Ethos app, was that, yeah, it was on the Sports Ethos app. They scratched him 10 minutes after game time. So if the game starts at 8, it really starts at 8:12. And at like 8:10, Clint Capela is not playing. I was not pleased. There was nothing I could do about it at that point. But I still beat my boys even with even a man down. I still got the dub. But come on, Hawks.
You know what, dude? I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA fines him for that. You can't do that. Like, and the betting books, and you have prop bets, and you've got money being transacted. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. You can't do that. So if I'm the NBA, I say to the Hawks, I'm going to fine you $100,000. I got to make a point here. Like, you can't do that. Just rule them out an hour and a half before the game. Like, what is that? Like,
unless you dunked in warmups or something, who knows? But as it stands, it was not cool. And it's 4 games tonight, so you probably couldn't have made a move in a regular fantasy league that would have changed it, but it did not sit well with me. I'll just say that.
No, it shouldn't. I did get caught with Capela in a couple of my lineups. Doc, yes, I did. All right, before we move on to the next game, thank you guys and girls for listening to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. We love y'all. Do us a favor, go to sportsethos.com, subscribe, and then subscribe to our podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. Obviously, you can check us out on YouTube, the Fantasy NBA Today, and the Sports Ethos Fantasy Basketball YouTube channel. So, all right, let's get back into Philadelphia's victory over the Lakers. We talked about Maxi. Oubre activated, knew he would be, 28 and 5. I love Kelly Oubre. Yabusele was very, very good in this game. 14, 5, and 3 with 4 steals. So wanted to give you just some standouts for me from the Philly side. And like we always say, no Paul George, Oubre. No Embiid, Yabu. And both of them paid that off tonight. Oh, Doc, Anthony Davis. Uh-oh. Core injury. Not good. Strained abdominal muscle, I'm seeing online. I will say this. Anthony Davis, for a couple of years now, has really been a tough guy. He has not been, oh, I'm hurt. Okay, I'll miss a month and a half, like he used to, right? He's not that guy anymore. He's like a DeMar DeRozan, a Jason Tatum, and Anthony Edwards. He is. He's an availability guy now. He just turned that corner on us, and it was really cool. But it's a core injury. Doc, I'm concerned. My level of concern on a 1 to 10 scale right now is, I would say it's an 8. And hopefully we get some good news on this, Doc. Hopefully, he was able to get out of the fight and have the thing calm down right here. But this is potentially a whale in the swimming pool in fantasy basketball.
Well, I mean, guy's having an MVP season, and he's coming off one of the best lines we've seen all year, right? One of the best games we've seen all year. When he went 22 and 14 in the first quarter or whatever it was. This is bad. And this is, hopefully he just tweaked it and like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. Embiid's not playing. We can live without you this game. Go lay down. So we'll have to see what the report is tomorrow, but definitely highly concerning. I'm at about an 8.5.
We're both there. Doc, Coloco, Jackson Hayes. I'm not feeling it, dude. You know what I mean? I don't, to me, there's not an automatic guy you go get, although maybe it's Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect has been playing a little bit better here, Doc. And I know Anthony Davis is a big and Dalton Connect is a wing. Dalton Connect tonight had 24. In the last 4 games, he's gone 13, 13, 2, 24. He's played 20-plus minutes in the last 3 games. So my thinking is, Doc, like maybe they just go really, really small without Anthony Davis, and Dalton Connect is that like other small that maybe starts, maybe plays 30 minutes, but like talk to me about the ripple effects here. Maybe Dorian Finney-Smith, like who do you see benefiting if Davis is going to miss some time?
Well, DFS, not an offensive weapon. He's more of I got a lot of tools in my basket, but none of them are very good. He does a little bit of everything and a lot of not much. Cam Reddish, same thing. Jackson Hayes, not a huge offensive weapon. Coloco, I don't know that much about him. I assume he's not a big scorer. Shake Milton, he's a playmaker. He's not really a big scorer. He can be. And then there's Bronny James. I think you buried the lead here, Rick. Bronny James missed all 5 of his shots tonight. I've still not seen him make a shot in the NBA, but I also haven't paid much attention. So Dalton Connect is an offensive weapon. I feel like he's been underused for most of this season. Maybe he's just not been playing well, but watching him in college, man, he is a bucket. He's one of the best shooters out there. And I think he should be getting more minutes and more shots every night. And if AD's going to miss 2 weeks, I think you're right. I think Dalton Connect might be the guy.
Yeah, I think that's the way you pivot here, guys. Jared Vanderbilt is back, and Jared Vanderbilt could be a guy that has some playing time raised, but I think he might still be on a minutes restriction after all of the missed time that he's taken on here. But we wish Anthony Davis well, man. We hope this is not a long-term thing, but it does not look good as we speak to you right now. All right, Doc, let's go to the late games tonight. And
hey, Rick, just to verify what you said earlier, back to Houston, Andre did verify that Eason absence was a rest game, so he should be good to go.
Good news right there, man. Utah at Golden State. Doc. Golden State gets the win, 114-103. No Steph Curry. Oh my God, this box score. Oh my God, I can't. The first thing I see when I pull up this box score.
It's not the bottom of it because it's on the next page.
Dude, okay, and I'm laughing, okay? Take a guess. What's the first thing I saw when not the Utah side of the box score, the Golden State side of the box score. What's the first thing I saw that's got me laughing and like, what?
Trace Jackson Davis, 6 minutes.
Yes! Did Trace Jackson Davis get hurt? Okay, we've been recording here while this game is on. Did Trace Jackson Davis get hurt? I know Andre Lemouche is all over this stuff, man. He'll be in 30 seconds.
I bet they went small.
Steve Kerr, you're driving us crazy. 6 minutes, bro. I just dropped Trace Jackson Davis in a cash league that I'm in, and I was like, I think I just made a big mistake. You know what I mean? Like, I've been holding him all year. The numbers suck. He's like 8 points and 5 rebounds, right? With not even a block per game. It's like, why am I rostering this guy? Steve Kerr, dang you. And so I dropped him. And then we get this game right here. 6 minutes, bro. So I'm over it, dude. No Steph Curry tonight. We talked about that. I do think he's going to have a slump buster Wednesday night at OKC. Podziemski went 27-6, 4 threes, 32 minutes. There's your pickup. But this doesn't make sense. Doc, Moses Moody plays 27 minutes as a starter. Buddy Hield plays 22 minutes as a starter. Trace Jackson Davis plays 6 minutes as a starter. Podziemski plays 32 minutes off the bench. Guy freaking Santos plays 23 minutes. Steve Kerr has the worst rotations in the history of basketball, dude. They suck.
I had Guy Santos in that DFS lineup where I lost Clint Capela, and that dude had 7 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and a steal, and he cost me almost $0. The first thing I see when I look at this box score is just everybody playing low double-digit minutes. Everybody, except for one guy. Except for one dude. The other 2 things I noticed, well, there's 3 things I noticed. Dennis Schroeder might be a valuable fantasy player anytime Steph Curry is out. He had 23, 5, and 4 with 3 steals, 5 triples. Solid. Curry comes back, Schroeder will go away. So don't think that's gonna happen again in the next one. Tomorrow, actually. Buddy Hield, 1 of 7, 2 points with no Steph Curry. Way to step up, young fella. I mean, it's just awful. And then Podziemski, 32 minutes, 20 points, 7-6. Like you said, that's the pickup. If you want to mess with any of this Steve Kerr filibuster, I guess Brandon Podziemski is the guy. But and they won the game. Doesn't even seem fair. But they were playing Utah. Utah benched everybody.
Yes, they did. They should only get half of a win. Let me bring you into so Trace Jackson Davis, Doc. I'm seeing nothing about an injury. I'm seeing nothing. I put his name in on Twitter. So here's some of the tweets on him. Do what's right, FanDuel Sportsbook. Trace Jackson Davis didn't have a chance to play tonight. Rigged AF. Steve Kerr needs to be investigated because ain't no way Trace Jackson Davis not playing after only 6 minutes. Steve Kerr working with Vegas. How Trace Jackson Davis only plays 6 minutes. This Trace Jackson Davis situation today has to be investigated. Here's another one. I've seen enough LMAO at FanDuel. Please void Trace Jackson Davis bets. That is what's going on with Trace Jackson Davis right now. 6 minutes. Bro. 6 minutes. Like 19 would be a slap in the face. 6? If I'm Trace Jackson Davis, I'm literally, I don't want to do it, we're a family show. I'm double middle finger saluting Steve Kerr as he subs me out of the game. There you go. 2 birds right in your face, buddy. How do you like that? He has nothing to lose. Trace Jackson Davis, you know, he does have something to lose, Doc. He's got 6 minutes in a game to lose because, of course, Quentin Post has to play more time than Trace Jackson Davis.
Andre points out that Kevon Looney was a plus 23 in that game. And I mean, let's look at who Trace Jackson Davis would have been going up against. Bryce Sensabaugh, Drew Eubanks, and Micah Potter. I think Kerr took him out. Looney went in there, got hot. And they just didn't need Trace Jackson Davis, but it's shady, dude. It's Steve Kerr being Kerr gonna Kerr.
Kerr gonna Kerr. Dude,
Kerr.
He does not understand the word development. Steve Kerr, that word, he's like, stop speaking German. Steve, development. He's like, there you go. You're talking Chinese again. Development. And he's like, there you go. Speaking Australian again. Yes, that was a joke. There has to be a developmental tip with Trace Jackson Davis where he plays half the game. There has to be. He is a young, aspiring stud big man. Kevon Looney's in the last year of his fucking deal, and he's not even going to be on the team next year. So why do you, Kevon Looney was so effective tonight in the plus minus and all that. Who cares? You're on a lousy, mediocre team going nowhere. Why would you not want to develop your young guys? Okay, I think we've beaten dead whatever here. A dead squirrel in the road. I don't know.
Isaiah Collier, Rick. Isaiah Collier, 12 points, 6 boards, 9 assists.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, behind Khalil Ware, Isaiah Collier is the guy you all should be picking up. He should be rostered everywhere.
Completely agree.
Him and Keontae are going to play tons of minutes down the stretch. This is the Utah Jazz we're going to see for the next 2 or 3 months. And I'm kind of sad that I got Micah Potter rotting on my 30 deep bench this week while Al Horford is rotting in my starting lineup. Micah Potter's playing.
Micah Potter, yes.
Mr. Potter.
We were right, by the way, on Monday night. We were like, Clarkson ain't going to play, but Larry Markkinen ain't going to play. We didn't know about John Collins and Walker Kessler, but they didn't play. And so it is what it is. Isaiah Collier is a guy that you should know. He should be on your team, frankly. I'm looking at some of these numbers here. Potter is all right, 13-7 with a couple of blocks. Drew Eubanks, 13 points, 4 blocks. I like Drew Eubanks. Somehow Colin Sexton was allowed to play in this game. He had 30 points in 34 minutes. I mean, what the hell? And Keontae George plays 32 minutes off the bench. Dude, these coaches suck. Like,
they must have forgot to take Sexton's name off the lineup sheet.
I literally think they forgot.
It was totally
Sexton's
an accident.
Like, wait, why am I playing? I thought this wasn't part of the plan. Okay, screw it. I'm going to go out there and get 30 tonight. These rotations, man. All right. Have you guys downloaded the Sports Ethos app yet? Do it now. It's free. Go to your favorite app store. Download the Sports Ethos app. We got the blurbs that you need to win fantasy championships, NBA, MLB, NFL style. Grab it from your favorite app store, the Sports Ethos app. Doc, Milwaukee at Portland. Portland wins again, 125-112. The Blazers are 18-29. They're creeping up on 500. Let's see what their winning streak is here. They have won 5 of their last 6 games. And it's very impressive what they're doing right now, Doc. It is, and really what has turned it, I got to give Chauncey Billups credit. It sucks for Scoot Henderson, but I got to give him credit. He has gone with a 3-forward look of Tumani Kamara, 18, 11, and 4 tonight. Jeremy Grant had 8. He only played 16 minutes, maybe an injury there. Denny Abdia played 38 minutes, had 30 points. DeAndre Ayton was very good tonight, 21 and 14. Simons had 25. But since he went with the 3-forward look, they basically won every game. Scoot Henderson did not activate like we thought he would tonight, 10 points and 6 assists. Shaedon Sharpe did. He had 17 off the bench. But this 3-forward starting lineup thing for Portland, Doc, it's winning. It's working.
Kamara had 8 points, 11 boards, 4 assists. Scoot came off the bench. I'm still okay with Scoot because he played 27 minutes. He had 10 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, steal, a 3. He's super active when he's on the floor. I am a little worried though because Portland failed miserably at tanking, if they were even trying to tank in the first place. Maybe they weren't. But now they're close enough. They can sniff the playoffs now. So now I think it's like, all right, all hands on deck. Let's try to get in the playoffs. If they're not going to tank, that ruins the Scoot Henderson silly season plans that I had. So we have to see what happens in the next couple weeks there. But I'm still hanging on to Scoot Henderson no matter what until he falls down with these other guys that are getting 1 minute a game. As long as he's getting 25, 26, 27 a game, I'm cool.
I understand what you're saying about Scoot Henderson. Let's look at it this way, though. Ankle injury for Jeremy Grant. When Jeremy Grant gets hurt, he misses time. So this is probably a weeker, a 2-weeker, I don't know, a fortnighter. I don't know what we're talking about here. Scoot might be the guy that enters the starting 5.
A fortnight.
The old fortnighter. It's a really nice hotel and resort on Clearwater Beach. But Doc, so the question is, this is going to be a huge starting lineup announcement, pardon me, for their next game. Jeremy Grant doesn't play, right? Abdi is going to start. Kamara's going to start. Ayton's going to start if healthy, and not snowed in. And Anthony Simons is going to start. So then is it Shaedon Sharpe or Scoot Henderson? Because that is, and by the way, Portland is 6.5 games out of the play-in tournament right now. So it's not like they're right knocking on the door of the playoffs. They are 18-29. It looks cosmetically better. But and I don't know what he's going to do. Shaedon Sharpe fits more of the profile of what's been winning with the 3-forward look as opposed to putting in a double point guard look of Scoot and Simon. So I guess I would probably say that Sharpe gets that start and Scoot is still coming off the bench here, Doc. But I would hold Scoot. I would not drop him yet.
Interesting note. I saw this earlier, and it's somehow still sitting right where I left it on my Twitter page. Mark Spears reported tonight that Blazers fans have been booing Chauncey Billups tonight and regularly this season at home games. And he said, maybe I missed it, but did he put this team together? What did they expect him to do with this roster in the West? They won the game. They've won how many games in a row, Rick? 4 or 5? Why are they booing
won 5
Chauncey?
6.
Why are they booing Chauncey tonight? I don't know.
Well, it's because they want to tank. It's because you always bang on these teams for being crappy tankers.
Well, this one in particular. They want Cooper Flagg.
No, they don't. Portland does not want Cooper Flagg. They're not acting like they want Cooper Flagg. Portland gets the 7th overall pick every year anyway. That one year they spiked up to 3 to get Scoot. But they got Shaedon Sharpe with the 7th pick. They got Klingon with the 7th pick. They're not great at tanking. They're just not.
They're also not great at drafting. I'm just saying.
I like the Scoot pick. Are you unpacking the Scoot pick right now?
I mean, Amen Thompson was available.
They don't even play Scoot, bro. We don't know how good he can be.
Michael Jordan was available. Greg Oden was available.
Dude, what the F happened to Damian Lillard tonight, dude? We were building this up on Monday, going back to Portland. He was due for a slump buster because the shooting was so terrible against Portland. And then, Doc, you know what happened? The same horrible shooting against Portland. And it's now 4 for 4 of Dame firing blanks in 4 meetings against his former team. He shot 7 of 17 tonight, 2 of 6. That angle's dead, Doc. Okay. Please remind me next year if we're both above ground, still breathing, still gigging here on Sports Ethos, and still doing these great podcasts, Doc. Please slap me in the face and remind me, don't go there with Dame in the Portland game, because it never happens. So it's annoying. I mean, 20 points, 6 assists, 7 of 17. I mean, let's go, dude. This is at Portland. How are you not activating? How are you not giving them the business, man?
But if you look at his game log, man, like that is his worst game since January 4th. First, like he was balling. He was playing so good, and he was playing so well. And I felt like this was his first real comfortable time to go back to Portland and put on a show.
Me too.
It didn't happen. And he was solid in the first half. 14 points, on pace for 28, maybe 30, maybe 35. And then he just disappeared in the second half when Portland ran away with the game. And Portland's got some guys that can play some D too. I didn't get to watch it. I would like to watch and see who shut Dame down, but somebody did.
It wasn't Jeremy Grant, who's a great defensive player. He picked up the ankle injury. All right, what else is going on here for Milwaukee? Boy, Giannis, 39 and 12. My God, he's not going to win MVP this year, but he's having an MVP season. Where's Portis and Middleton? Portis didn't play. He's still got the personal issue going on. Chris Middleton, what? He played 15 minutes tonight. It was the second of a back-to-back. I mean, why even play him? He had no points in 15 minutes. Oh, this is such a weird box score, Doc. It's Dame. It's Giannis going Herculean. Brook Lopez had another Brook Lopez game with 11 points and a pretty flat line. I'm out. I got nothing else on this game, dude. I'm talked out on Milwaukee and Portland. Anything else for you?
DeAndre Ayton, 21 and 14, steal block. Good job, buddy. He just keeps doing it. He just keeps doing it. The same stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing that'll knock your socks off, but solid. And all he does is get ripped on. That's all. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm just not an Ayton guy. He's lost me over the years here, but he had a good game tonight. Portland's winning. They won 5 of 6. Good
Hey,
for
the
them.
Blazers
Doc,
have as many wins as the Sixers. And
okay, that is crazy.
the Rockets have way more wins than the Sixers. It's a wild season, man.
It is.
I'm ready. The playoffs are going to be nuts. I can't wait. I'm good. I'm done. My voice is gone.
All right, so we are out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Dr. A. Thank you to Andre Lamouche. I am Rick Kamla. We appreciate y'all, man. Again, go download the Sports Ethos app. It's completely free. Go to sportsethos.com and subscribe. That would help us out. And we appreciate you guys. A reminder, okay, February 6th is trade deadline day. We're on the air at 9:30 a.m. We're going to be on the air most of the day, bringing you all the goodies that you need, all of the fantasy spin. So make a note of that. Thursday, February 6th, NBA trade deadline day. We've got wall-to-wall coverage for you guys. So for all of us here at Sports Ethos Fantasy Basketball, Fantasy NBA today, we are out. This show is brought to you by Bet Online. See you Wednesday night.